your name again.
Sure, it's Michelle with 2 L's. Mayfield, M-A-Y-F-I-E-L-D. And address and all that stuff. Do you need my email or anything?
No, that's right.
Are you Mr. Good by chance?
I am.
Okay. We're waiting on a couple more board members, but you want to sit up front?
Or,
Do you need his information or?
What's your first name?
Timothy.
And it's no E on good, right?
No, hello, John. Are you coming to the meeting tonight? Do you know if Dave's coming or?
master plan.
Okay.
Do you need documents or plans or anything you want to have marked?
No.
We have the application marked. Okay.
So you have to, usually pass the law material. This is what we have to do. Okay. Good, are you good for the zoning design? Okay, Johnson is coming over with the analysis, so I know, okay, all right, thank you. Yeah, no problem.
Is it able or?
Yes.
Okay.
They both are right by each
Okay.
other, so it should be about 15 minutes, yes, sir?
Because there's a Darlene here, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
And who is it that is the other member? Dave?
Dave and John.
Right, I just need to.
So we're on those two.
No, we don't have, we have John's,
Dave Rogers and someone else.
and then Darlene.
Okay.
I have that one. I got all the ones that are on that one.
Okay.
Fires.
Dave Rogers, Rodgers.
Thank you.
At this, while we're waiting, is anybody else here who just, they want to present testimony at this time, so we can just get the names on the record? Or wants party status, you're just here to observe, okay. Just while we're waiting, just try to do some housekeeping items. Do you bring them 10?
Yes.
So I could have taken 10 in there. I could have, with
How was that drive?
once I got number 3, I was going the wrong way.
Not too familiar with that. Yeah, that was the 7%. That presentation was wonderful. So then we got it, it says we don't have a goal. You. This is speaking of that tomorrow morning, to go to some time, and see how that goes, and see the orientation, so that we can reach out.
Joe.
Hi, John, nice to meet you.
Hey, I'm Dave.
Thanks for
Hi,
calling,
Dave.
Jeff.
Nice
Must
to
be
meet you.
mad when you guys called, I totally forgot.
I have it on the calendar.
Ready?
Yeah.
We'll call to order the meeting tonight. The first order of business is approval of minutes from the August 19th, 2024 meeting.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Take a vote on it.
Aye.
And we have one application tonight, Timothy Good, and with that, I'll turn it over to our solicitor tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Mayfield. I'm the law partner of Attorney Chris Hartman's. Covering for him tonight, I have to my right, Matt Fessler, an associate with our office. At this time, with the zoning hearing board members would like to introduce themselves.
Jeff Hamburger.
John Rue.
Dave Rogers.
Thank you. This is the time and place designated by notice to consider the application of Timothy Good for a variance from section 27-1702.a of the Huntingburg Township zoning ordinance as amended to allow the property to be used as an AirBNB for short-term residential rental purposes. The property which is the subject of the application for the above variance is located at 933 Twin County Road, being tax parcel 22-3-47. The property is located in the agricultural A zoning district with a small portion near the roadway within the floodplain hazard FH overlay district. Before proceeding, I'll ask if there's anyone present who wishes to be recognized as a party to this proceeding. Party status will give you the right to call witnesses and to appeal the decision of the zoning hearing board. The applicant will be recognized as a party, and the township is always automatically recognized as a party. Is there anybody here who desires party status? Seeing none? Anyone who seeks to offer evidence regarding this matter will be required to come forward and be sworn before testifying before the board. Public notice of this hearing was duly advertised in the Daily Local, a newspaper of general circulation in Huntingburg Township, on August 29th and September 5th, 2024. Adjoining property owners were notified by mail of this hearing on August 27th, 2024. Notice of this hearing was posted on the property by Matthew Foster, zoning officer for the township, on September 6, 2024. At this time, the board offers the following exhibits into evidence. Board Exhibit 1, the application of Timothy Good for property located at 933 Twin County Road, Huntingburg Township, Chester County, Pennsylvania. Board Exhibit 2, notice of the hearing. Board Exhibit 3, proof of publication of the notice in the Daily Local. Board Exhibit 4, affidavit of service by mail. Board Exhibit 5, affidavit of posting of the property. Board Exhibit 6 is letter of the Board of Supervisors of Huntingburg Township dated September 12, 2024, advising that the township takes no position on the variance request. Board Exhibit 7 is the zoning ordinance of Huntingburg Township as amended. I do have copies. I should have shown this to you, but do you have any objections? They're all standard notices that we have to provide. Hearing no objections, board exhibits 1 through 7 are admitted into evidence. What will happen next is you'll present your case to this board. You'll be sworn, you'll provide testimony. You indicated you have no exhibits or documents to present, is that correct?
That's correct.
At this time, if you will be sworn, and then we'll allow you to proceed. Yes.
If you swear or affirm the testimony about the Bible, the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, so you affirm.
I so affirm.
And just state your name, please.
Timothy Good.
And you're the owner of 933 Twin County Road?
Yes.
Are you the sole owner, or are you?
I think my wife might have her name. Yes, my wife has her name.
And she's authorized you to appear tonight for both of you?
Yes.
If you would like to tell the board what you would like to do, why you would like to do it, this is your opportunity to do so.
Okay. So it's an old schoolhouse that was built in 1897 right here along Penn, and they had school in it till about in the 1920s when they shut it down, and then it was changed into a house, and people lived in it until up to about the 1990s sometime. I don't exactly know when. They kind of fell into disrepair. It was a kind of a pretty junky there for probably the last 20 years or so. And we bought it and fixed it up, and we'd like to use it as an Airbnb if we can. It's zoned agriculture there. A bed and breakfast is actually used by right for agriculture zoning. But when I asked for an Airbnb, they said that was actually a new use that wasn't really defined by the township as of now, so I would have to get a use variance if I was going to use it as a short-term rental or Airbnb. So basically what I've been requesting is that I can use it as an Airbnb, and if the township comes up with guidance later on with how that needs to look, or further guidance on that, be ready and willing to follow whatever guidelines come on later on, but I'd be asking for being able to use it as a short-term rental. And I guess I'd be saying, I could ask for an Airbnb, like as a regular bed and breakfast, and that would be considered a use by right, but because I'm using it as an Airbnb, there are some things that might be a little bit different. Number one, I wouldn't be living on the property, I wouldn't be providing breakfast, and I guess there's some slight differences there, but because that wasn't clearly defined, that's why I would need a use variance and use it for that.
Does the board have any questions?
I do. So if we would approve you for this Airbnb for a temporary use permit, and say 6 months from now, the township would go over AirbNBs and they would say that this is no longer an agricultural use, at that time, would you be willing to sacrifice that as a use for yourself, or would you like for us to grandfather you in for this one exception only? How would you personally feel about that?
Well, if I could choose, I would much rather be grandfathered in, but if you don't grant me that choice, then I suppose you don't grant me that choice, but, at that time, I guess I would probably either choose to move it to a more traditional Airbnb, which is then a bed and breakfast, which is a use by right, or I could just sell this or use it as a regular single-family home, which is what it's been used for about approximately 70 years or so before it fell into disrepair, I suppose.
Well, I figured since it's going to be an exception and they have to review it, that's maybe something that we should definitely touch on, at this time.
Is that in that place right now?
What's that?
You're not using it right now for anything?
No, right now, we're still in the process of renovating it. We're almost done with the renovation. We'll be probably done within probably about 2 or 3 months or so here, maybe 2 months or so.
I have a few questions before I do. Is there any other questions from the board?
So it should be treated as like one rental, is that right? Not numerous rentals? I don't know how big it is or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be one rental. So it's the old schoolhouse is in the front. There's a guy that made an addition into the back of it that he couldn't ran into some financial difficulties. He couldn't finish it, and that's what I bought it from him. But it would all be one rental. It wouldn't be multiple units.
When you say addition, it's not a separate building, it's connected to the original
That's
building.
correct.
How many bedrooms are in
It would be 3 bedrooms and 3 baths.
And is it correct, it's about 0.41 acres?
Yes.
Is there sufficient parking for 3 cars
Yes.
off the road?
Yes. Enough.
As was mentioned, the township is looking at and evaluating doing Airbnb regulations, short-term rental regulations. And let's start there. You would be looking at short-term rentals. You're not looking at a long-term rental. This would be less than 30 days.
Yes.
And I don't know if the board will agree to these, but I'm going to ask you first if you would agree to them if the board is so inclined to add these conditions based on our experience with short-term rentals in other jurisdictions. Would you limit it to a total of 6 occupants, excluding children under the age of 18?
Yes.
How big are the bedrooms? Are they a minimum of 100 square feet?
Yes.
And those are traditional bedrooms, not eating, cooking, bathrooms, toilet rooms, all storage or utility rooms?
Yes.
So the schoolhouse was previously, I think you testified, was a dwelling. So you are not changing it from a schoolhouse to a dwelling?
No, I mean, it was a schoolhouse from 1897, when they originally built it, until somewhere in the 1920s, and then was a dwelling from somewhere in the 1920s to somewhere approximately in the early 90s.
So a family or husband and wife would have lived there?
Yes.
And you said, and you're not planning on adding any additional bedrooms, it'll be 3 bedrooms?
Yes.
Does it have, or are you installing smoke and or carbon monoxide detectors?
Yes. Well, we're installing them. The one that had them before.
And you're installing them per code,
Yes.
with at least 1 in each bedroom and 1 in each area outside?
Yes. I don't know if we have any outside, but we at least have.
In the hallway, I'm sorry, outside the bedroom?
Yes, yeah.
Would you be willing, if you've not already done so, to provide at least 1 fire extinguisher?
Sure.
As part of the renovations, would you or have you installed ground fault electrical outlets,
We have.
at least in the kitchen and bathroom?
Yes.
How far away from this location do you reside?
About 3 miles, 3.5 miles from. I could tell you exactly.
No, that's fine. No, it's just,
You live there at the nursery, right?
Right beside the nursery.
4 miles max.
4 miles.
so you're local enough that if should an emergency arise, you would be the emergency
Yes.
contact? And would you so register with the township with your name and address, emergency phone numbers?
Yes.
And we talked about there's 3 bedrooms, and you said there's space, off-street parking for at least 1 space per bedroom,
Yes.
parking space. In response to my question, does the board have any questions?
I think the only question I would have, it was quite extensive remodel there. I'm guessing you did have permits and everything was done by inspections.
Yes.
And on the subject of permits, would you obtain any required, and I'm not sure what the regulations are in Chester County, but if they are required, any hotel registration licenses in the county and or the township? And
Yes, if they become required, I would certainly get them. Yeah.
And would you agree, if the township so desires, to an annual inspection?
Yes.
Again, any questions?
Everyone?
To obtain a variance or certain requirements under the zoning ordinance and state law, would you have to meet? So I'm going to ask you those questions now. There are unique physical circumstances or conditions, including irregular irregularity, narrowness, or shallowness of the lot size, or shape, or exceptional topographical or other physical conditions peculiar to this property, and that the hardship is due to such conditions and not the circumstances or conditions generally created by the provisions of this chapter. Because to obtain the variance, you have to prove a hardship, so that's why I have to ask these questions. So this is a unique property.
Yes.
Because of these conditions, there's no possibility that the property can be developed or altered in strict conformity with the provisions of this ordinance.
Yes, it hasn't been actually used for ag within the last 150 years.
You did not create this hardship.
No.
It will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood or district in which the property is located, or substantially or permanently impair the appropriate use or development.
No.
This is the minimum variance afforded,
Yes.
and we discussed and you agreed to the conditions that I mentioned.
Yes.
The other condition that I would ask if you would agree to, posting your number or local number, emergency contact number, any regulations for trash, where trash should go, and just be a good neighbor. I mean, it's a smaller property, and make sure that nobody's coming in and using this as a party property and creating.
Yes.
Have you had any discussions with any of the neighbors
Yeah.
and their general opinion?
They're actually thrilled. They look pretty trashy before.
The place looks great. I will say
Yeah,
that.
that's This is, Sours Nursery under the landscape.
Yeah, well, yeah, we did the one.
Anything further from the board? Do you have anything you'd like to say to the board?
No.
And I understand, oh, go ahead,
I'm
I'm sorry.
certainly willing to answer any questions anybody has.
You don't anticipate having, it's a smaller property, like I said, like any four-wheelers or anything to ride around the property or
No,
no?
I'd be pretty excited.
Okay. And I understand nobody in the audience wanted party status. Is there anybody here who wants to make any statements? Okay, if there's nothing further, I will ask.
I would have one question. Are you going through Airbnb or Verbo or HomeAway?
Well, I thought about that, and I put Airbnb first of all in my application, and about a day later, I thought, well, maybe, what if I ever want to use a different website? So I added the word short-term rentals into the application. So I would like to, if it was okay, just kind of have the freedom to try any or all, or
They all three do fairly good at doing backgrounds on their clients.
yes. I certainly don't want this to be a party place where people are messing it up.
Not after all the work you've done.
No.
It looks beautiful from the road.
Would the board like to deliberate?
Could we take a
Executive session.
little recess and section?
Close it right now, so we can back.
Session.
Yes.
Close it, then we'll come back.
So you guys can stay here, we're gonna go to the back and have a conversation. Then we'll come back and most likely render a decision. Matt, do you think you?
I do. Yeah. Good, behind you. I'm ready to go.
You should get your dig on the Airbnb in Honey Brook.
I guess so. I can't believe it never happened before, really. I mean, I just assumed there was probably, I don't know, how many people probably already had gone through the process, or they had,
You just think you're gonna improve the problem, because it wasn't ever really a thing for a
I
long
guess
time,
so.
and then all the multiple houses on a lot of these bigger properties, you think somebody can do it,
Yeah.
something.
That would be my guess, it might be a little more than that, sure.
Go back on record. It's a deliberation, I think the board would like to make a motion to approve with conditions.
Yes, the conditions would be no additional bedrooms, so there would be 3 bedrooms, the maximum, allowing for a maximum of 6 occupants excluding children. And that would be day and nighttime occupancy. Installation of carbon monoxide and smoke detectors as required. Provisions of at least 1 fire extinguisher. Installation of ground fault electrical outlets. Obtaining, if required by the township, a short-term rental license, but providing the township and posting at the property the contact of our 24-hour phone number as an emergency contact. Posting of any regulations that you would like to be abided by the occupants, such as posting of trash, and also the condition that there shall be no ATVs provided for riding on the property, and that shall be stated on the conditions posted at the property. Providing at least 1 off-street parking space for each bedroom, so at least 3 off-street parking spaces. Obtaining all applicable licenses, permits, and taxes as required by the county, state, or municipality, and compliance with all other applicable ordinances of the township, and testimony this evening. Do you agree to those conditions?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Take a vote. Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. We'll conclude the meeting.
We will be issuing a written decision within 45 days. Once that, you'll have 30 days after issuance of the written decision to take an appeal if desired. If the board has nothing further, I'd like to consider a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. So you'll get a written decision within, it's usually quicker, but, yeah, I don't know, you guys sign everything, but you'll get it.
It's usually less